So in yesterday class, we discussed regarding enantiomers, diastereomers, and optical isomerism. Let us simply once again I will tell you here enantiomers and diastereomers. See, enantiomers are the optical active isomers of a compound which are non-superimposable mirror images, whereas diastereomers are optically active compounds which are not mirror images to each other. If you take the properties of enantiomers, enantiomers are having similar physical as well as chemical properties. They just differ in the rotation of the plane polarized light only. In case of diastereomers are having similar chemical properties, but the rate of reactivity is different. Diastereomers possess different physical as well as chemical properties. So based on the physical methods, there is nothing but a crystallization, fractional distillation. By using some other physical methods, we can separate the components from the mixture of diastereomers. That is what we discussed in the last class. Now let us see meso compound and one more racemic mixture. So what is a meso compound and what is a racemic mixture? Now I'll take one example here. Butane diol, 2,3 butane diol. This is a molecule. Let this as first structure. Now, whether this molecule is optically active or optically inactive. So here the given molecule is optically inactive because this possesses a plane of symmetry. Actually, this compound contains 2 chiral carbons. This is a chiral carbon. This is also a chiral carbon. Even though 2 chiral carbons are there, the compound is optically inactive. The reason is, so here the optical rotation of one half of the molecule. For example, with respect to this, if I mention the rotation like this, OHCH3H in the direction, here OHCH3H in this direction, it will be like this. The optical rotation. That means one half of the part of the molecule and another half of the part of the molecule has a opposite optical activity. This is called as internal compensation, and such compounds are called as meso compounds. So meso compounds are the optically inactive compounds which contains 2 or more than 2 chiral carbon atoms. Even though 2 or more chiral carbon atoms are there, the compound is optically inactive. Such compounds are known as meso compounds. And the reason for this optical inactivity is due to the presence of a plane of symmetry. So due to presence of plane of symmetry, here one half of the molecule rotation get nullified by another half of the molecule. Such compounds are called as meso compounds. This is called as internal compensation. Means internally the optical activity of one half of the molecule get nullified by another half of the molecule. Such compounds are called as meso compounds. Now, the same molecule I will represent one more structure here. CH3 COH H C OH H CH3. Instead of taking similar groups on same side, I have taken on opposite sides. Now, so whether this is optically active or not. Let us see here, just I'll represent the direction OH CH3H. In this direction it is. From OH CH3H. And then here also OH CH3H. Same direction is there. So the groups are present in the same order in the same direction. So there is no internal compensation here. That means this molecule should be optically active. Now I will take the mirror image of this compound. CH3. Now see, if you observe here, this is the direction here, whereas here, this is the direction. So this is the mirror image. Second molecule, this is the, let us just second, this one is third one. Third one is the mirror image of the second molecule. And this pair of compounds, these are two mirror images which are non-superimposable. So these are non-superimposable mirror images are nothing but known as enantiomers. Suppose if the mixture contains 50% of second component and 50% of the third compound, then the net optical activity is 0. So 50% in anti-clockwise, 50% in clockwise direction. Then the compound is optically inactive. Even this is optical active. This is also optical active, but the mixture is optically inactive. That is called as a racemic mixture. Nothing but the mixture of equal amounts of enantiomers. 50% of one enantiomer, 50% of another enantiomer. Out of these two enantiomers, if one is having optical activity in clockwise direction and another one is having optical activity in anti-clockwise direction, so the net angle of rotation will be 0. Such mixture is called as racemic mixture. Simply, the mixture of equal amounts of enantiomers is called as racemic mixture. And this racemic mixture is optically inactive. Why racemic mixture is optically inactive? So racemic mixture is optically inactive due to external compensation. Here, the optical activity of one molecule get nullified by another molecule. Whereas in this case, the optical activity of one half get nullified another half within the molecule here. This is called internal compensation. This is called external compensation. So overall, meso compound is optically inactive due to internal compensation. Racemic mixture is optically inactive due to external compensation. This is regarding a meso compound and racemic mixture. And two more terms, erythriose and threose. So what are these erythriose and threose? And what are the conditions required for to indicate a molecule that is erythriose form or a threo form? Erythro form and threo form. Here two conditions are required. The first condition is the given compound should contain two chiral carbon atoms. This is the first condition. The second condition is out of the remaining 6 groups present on the two chiral carbon atoms, 2 groups should be same. That is one similar group should present on both the carbon atoms. These are the two conditions required to mention whether a given compound is either erythriose or threose. Let us take an example here. CHO, C, OH, H, C, OH, H. This is CH2OH. Here this molecule contains 2 chiral carbon atoms. Now, at the 2 chiral carbon atoms, what I said earlier, similar group. If the similar groups at the 2 chiral carbon atoms are present on the same side, then it is said to be erythriose. If the compound is like this, CHO, CH2OH, the 2 similar groups at the chiral carbon atoms are present on opposite sides. That is called as threose. So the first compound is erythriose and second compound is threose. And both this erythriose and triose forms, what I mentioned here, optically active. There is no symmetry in the molecule. So like that, if a given molecule contains 2 chiral carbon atoms, at the 2 chiral carbon atoms, what the similar group is there? The similar groups are present on the same side. That is called as erythriose. If the similar groups are present on opposite sides, that is called as triose. This is regarding erythriose and triose. Now let us see how to check whether a given compound is optically active or optically inactive. So in objective examination, they are asking questions like this by giving some compounds. They are asking which of the following is optically active, which of the following is optically inactive. Then how to predict whether a given compound is optically active or not. Now let us see how to check the optical activity of a compound. 3 cases here. The first one is compounds with 1 chiral carbon. This is the first case. And second case, compounds with more than 1 chiral carbon. Compounds with more than 1 chiral carbon. And next, compounds without chiral carbon. So by under 3 different conditions, we'll check with one chiral carbon, and with more than 1 chiral carbon, and the optical activity without chiral carbon also possible. Maybe or may not be, that we'll discuss one more. Now see, compounds with 1 chiral carbon atom. See, if a given compound contains 1 chiral carbon atom, that is always optically active. So any compound which contains only 1 chiral carbon atom, that is always optically active. So you take any example, take one carbon and attach any 4 different groups to carbon atom. If attach any 4 different groups to carbon atom, that is always optically active. So I'll take here OH, COOH, H and CH3. Now this is a chiral carbon atom that is optically active. So we can take any example, lactic acid, for example, C, COOH, CH3, OH, H. So this is optical active. This is lactic acid. Okay, like this. So any compound which contains only 1 chiral carbon atom is always optically active. Now the compounds with more than 1 chiral carbon atoms. May be optically active. May not be optically active. 2 possibilities are here. So now the compounds with 2 or more than 2 chiral carbon atoms are there. The compound may be or may not be optically active. Now let us see some examples we'll discuss here. CH3H, CH3H. Now here this is a compound. Now whether this is optically active or optically inactive. See whether chiral carbon is present or not. This is a chiral carbon atom. This is a chiral carbon atom. So here the compound contains two chiral carbon atoms. But even though the compound is optically inactive. Why this compound is optically inactive? Because it possesses a plane of symmetry. POS means here plane of symmetry. So this molecule possesses plane of symmetry. Now this is optically inactive. So in the last class we discussed, for optical activity the given compound should not possess any symmetry like plane of symmetry or center of symmetry or axis of symmetry. No symmetry should be there, but this molecule possesses plane of symmetry. Now this is optically inactive. Now the same structure, just one small change I'll do here. Suppose if the given molecule is like this, CH3, H and H. Actually these are not two-dimensional structures, these are three-dimensional structures. Now this is the chiral carbon atom here. This is the chiral carbon atom here. Two chiral carbon atoms are present. Now whether this is optically active or not. You take here, it does not possess any plane of symmetry. There is no plane of symmetry. Now this is optically active. This molecule possesses plane of symmetry. This is optically inactive. Whereas this molecule does not possess any plane of symmetry. Thus is optically active. Now let us see some other examples for the same. With 4 carbons I'll take here. This is cyclobutane. Two chlorines which are oriented above the plane. This is nothing but a wedge dash formula. Like this is there. And one more present here like this. H. Here present like this. H. Cl. Now, whether this compound is optically active or optically inactive. See, if you observe here, this molecule possesses a plane of symmetry. Above the plane, below the plane, exact structure is there. Now this is optically inactive. Due to the presence of plane of symmetry, this molecule is optically inactive. Now, let us take one more structure. I'll take here. Same. I'll take the structure like this. One above the plane, chlorine, and one chlorine below the plane. Now, does this possess plane of symmetry or not? Now, if I take one half of the molecule, it is projected towards us. It is projected away from us. So, one half of the molecule is not the mirror image of another half of the molecule. So, this is optically active only. No symmetry is there. This is an optically active compound. Okay. Now let us see here. One more example I'll take. Same. I'll take one more chlorine here. Cl. Now this is optically active or not? Now this molecule is optically active only. So if I take this half of the molecule, this is not the mirror images of each other, or there is no plane of symmetry possessed in this molecule. Now this is also optically active. Now, if I take a Br here and Cl, I'll take like this. Now, if you take this plane here, this one half of the molecule is the mirror image of another half of the molecule. This molecule possesses a plane of symmetry. Now this is optically inactive. So this is optically inactive. Okay, right. So like this, if a molecule contains two chiral carbon atoms, that compound may be optically active or may not be optically active. Yes, earlier in meso compound discussed. The given compound contains two chiral carbon atoms, but due to the presence of plane of symmetry, the compound is optically inactive. So, if a molecule or if a compound contains two or more than two chiral carbon atoms, the compound may be optically active or may be optically inactive. So, if there is no symmetry in the molecule, like plane of symmetry, center of symmetry, or axis of symmetry, then only the compound is optically active. If any symmetry possessed by the molecule, then the given compound is optically inactive. This is a second case. Now come to the third case, compounds without chiral carbon. Actually, in the beginning, what we discussed is, for a compound to be optically active, carbon should be bonded to four different groups. That carbon is called as a chiral carbon, and such compounds are optically active. But there are some compounds which does not contain chiral carbon, but they are optically active. Let us see what those compounds. Optically active compounds. Optically active compounds without chiral carbon atom. Means chiral carbon is the required condition for optical activity, but not the necessary condition. Let us see some examples which are optically active without having a chiral carbon atom. Now see this. The first one is allenes. Allenes. See, allenes are the compounds having general formula like this. This is a general formula of allenes. Two double bonds present on adjacent carbon atoms like this. Now let us take an example here. C, double bond C, double bond C. I'll take here CH3H, CH3H. Now if you observe here, this is not chiral carbon. So carbon with multiple bond will not be chiral carbon. So there is no chiral carbon in the molecule, but the compound is optically active. So this is an optically active compound without chiral carbon. Then how this allene is optically active without chiral carbon? Actually, this is not a planar molecule. So this is a non-planar molecule. That means this part lies in one plane and this part lies perpendicular to the plane. That means what is the board is there, this is this part, and this part will be like this, what I mentioned my hand like this. This is the part. So this half lies within the plane and this half lies perpendicular to this plane like this. So this is not a planar molecule. So all these four groups are not present in the same plane. So this is the three-dimensional structure, not a two-dimensional structure. So allenes are optically active if the two groups bonded to these terminal carbons are different. If these two are different, and these two may be same. So this is the general formula of allene. In allenes, at the terminal carbons, if the two groups attached to the double bonded carbon atom are different, then the compound is optically active. And one more. Suppose if two double bonds are present here, this is optically active. Now, if I take a compound like this, for example, whether this is optically active or not, this is optically active, this is optically inactive. So allenes with a even number of double bonds in the compound is optically active. If odd number of double bonds are present, then what will happen? This is present in the plane. This part present perpendicular to the plane. Again, this part present within the plane. So these two terminal groups are present within the plane. So this compound cannot exhibit optical isomerism. This can exhibit geometrical isomerism. So in these compounds, if even number of double bonds are there, then the compound is optically active. If odd number of double bonds are there, then the compound is optically inactive. Instead of exhibiting a optical isomerism, this compound can exhibit a geometrical isomerism. This is nothing but a cis configuration. Two similar groups present on the same side. So this is the first step, allenes. So allenes are the compounds which is having general formula like this, and the two groups bonded to the terminal carbons are different, then the compound is optically active. This is the first type, which does not contain chiral carbon, but the given compound is optically active. Next. Now come to the second one. Alkylides. So alkylides are the compounds. See, simple. In allenes, if one of the double bonded group is replaced by a cyclic ring, that is called as alkylides. Now see an example here. This is the general formula. This is an example for alkylides. Same, what is there in allenes? In that, in place of one double bonded carbon atom, I have taken a cyclic ring here. So in one double bond group is replaced by a cyclic group, then that is called as alkylidine. And here also, if this group part is present within the plane, this part is present perpendicular to the plane, then it also can exhibit a optical activity. So if you want an example, just replace A and B with some groups. Double bond C, here CH3, H, H, and CH3. So here there is no chiral carbon atom. For this carbon, the two groups bonded is same. These are double bonded carbon atoms. This is not a chiral carbon. There is no chiral carbon atom in the molecule. But even though this compound is optically active. So allenes, alkylides are optically active without having chiral carbon. Now come to the third type. Spirenes. See, what are these spirenes? Now, in allenes, if both double bonded carbons are replaced by two cyclic groups, then that is called as a spirene. Now let us see here. This is an example of spirene. And one more. These two ring structures may be same or may be different. No need to be the same. Here I took two same rings, cyclobutyl groups. These two rings may be or may not be the same. Now, this type of compounds, take an example here. And here also, what the two groups bonded to the cyclic ring should be different. Some CH3, OH. This is CH3, let us take OH. Or you can take other groups also. The two groups should be different, that's all. And these two may be same or may be different, that is secondary. So spirenes are the compounds which does not contain a chiral carbon atom. But even though these compounds are optically active. Next. The fourth type is biphenyls. What are biphenyls? If the two benzene rings are joined with each other, this is a benzene ring. This is a benzene ring. This is called as a biphenyl. This biphenyl is not optically active. This is optically inactive. So biphenyls are optically active if at least minimum 2 substances are present at ortho position. At ortho position, see out here total of 4 positions are there. Out of the 4 positions, minimum 2 positions should be substituted by some groups. And that if 2 substances are present at ortho position, the 2 groups must be bulky groups. Otherwise, more than 2 groups should be there. Now, let us take here A, B, A, B. Suppose if I took here A, here also B. Now this is optically inactive because it possesses plane of symmetry here now. So below the half, above the half is exactly same. Now this is not optically active. Okay. So it is unsymmetrically substituted. So let us take here B and here A. Now this is unsymmetrically substituted. There is no symmetry in the molecule and this is optically active. Now in place of A, B, I'll take some groups here. OH. I'll take OH here. Some CH3, CHO. Now this is a tetra substitute ortho compound. At ortho positions, 4 ortho positions are there. All 4 positions are substituted by some groups. And here also, this benzene ring lies in the plane. This benzene ring lies perpendicular to the plane. And the free rotation, here single bond is there. Even though single bond is present, free rotation is not possible. So in alkanes, we have studied in conformational isomerism. Free rotation about carbon-carbon single bond gives different number of conformational isomers. Here also carbon-carbon single bond is there. But even though free rotation is not possible due to steric hindrance. Suppose this is lies in the plane, this lies perpendicular to the plane actually. If you rotate the molecules to get the planar structure, this group and this group repel each other due to steric hindrance. And this group and this group repel each other due to steric hindrance. So planarity is not possible. The molecule possesses 3-dimensional structure only. And based on this, in a previous NEET examination, they asked one question. They have given some biphenyls like this. And they asked which of the following is optically active. So for biphenyls to be optically active, the compound should be substituted at ortho positions. And at ortho positions, minimum 2 substances should be present, at least on one at each ortho position of 2 benzene rings. Or if more than 1 position is there at ortho position, then the compound retains its 3-dimensional structure and the compound is optically active. So then how to select the answer is, among the given options where the compound is ortho substituted unsymmetrically, not symmetrically, then the compound is optically active. So this is regarding optical activity of the compounds which does not contain a chiral carbon atom. See once again. Some group of compounds are optically active even though that does not contain a chiral carbon atom. Those are, first one, allenes, second one is alkylidenes, third one is spirenes, and fourth one is biphenyls. So these 4 classes of compounds are optically active even though they does not contain chiral carbon. So by this method, we can predict whether a given compound is optically active or optically inactive. See once. All carbon compounds with 1 chiral carbon atom is always optically active. Carbon compounds with 2 or more than 2 chiral carbon atoms may be optically active or may not be optically active. If the molecule possesses any symmetry like plane of symmetry, center of symmetry, or axis of symmetry, even though it contains 2 or more, the compound is optically inactive. Some compounds are optically active even though there does not contain a chiral carbon atom. That is what the 4 classes of compounds we discussed. Allenes, alkylidenes, spirenes, and biphenyls. These are optical active compounds without chiral carbon atom. Right. Now, see then how to predict whether a given compound is a dextrorotatory compound or levorotatory compound. Whether a given compound is D or L. How to predict? How to predict the configuration of the molecule? That is the optical activity of the molecule, whether it is a dextrorotatory compound or a levorotatory compound. Just here. And yeah. So before this, we'll go for a calculation of number of optical isomers. Afterwards, we'll discuss that. Calculation of number of optical isomers. Suppose when a compound is given, then how to predict that? So the given compound contains how many optical isomers? Now come to the first case. If the compound contains n asymmetric carbons, if the compound contains n asymmetric carbons, then what is the number of optical isomers? If the compound contains n asymmetric carbon atoms, then the number of optical active forms is equal to 2 power n, and the number of mesoforms is equal to 0. Then total will be 2 power n. This is the relation. So if a given compound contains n asymmetric carbon atoms, then the number of optical active forms is 2 power n, and the number of mesoforms is 0. Total number of isomers is nothing but 2 power n. Let us take an example here. CHO, right. So this is a molecule 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 carbons. This is nothing but a structure of glucose. So this is the structural formula of glucose. Then here how many chiral carbon atoms are present? This is not a chiral carbon. This is a chiral carbon atom. And here this is a chiral carbon atom. So this is a chiral carbon atom. This is another chiral carbon atom. So totally there are 4 chiral carbon atoms. Then the number of optical isomers is 2 power n, which is equal to 2 power 4, which is equal to 16. And here this molecule does not possess any symmetry. Now the compound is optically active. Any conformation, any form of this glucose molecule is optically active only. So since there are 4 asymmetric carbon atoms, we can get 2 power n, that is 2 power 4 structures, which is equal to 16. Totally 16 structures are possible. So like this, if a given compound contains n asymmetric carbon atoms and if the molecule does not possess any symmetry, then the number of optical active forms is 2 power n. The number of mesoforms is 0 and total number of isomers is 2 power n. This is the first case. Now come to the second case. Compound with a even number of asymmetric carbons and possess symmetry. The second case is the given compound contains n chiral carbon atoms, that n is an even number and the molecule possesses symmetry. Let us take an example for this case. CH3, CHOH, CHOH, now let's take this molecule. Now this molecule contains here 4 asymmetric carbon atoms. The given molecule contains 4 asymmetric carbon atoms and the molecule possesses a plane of symmetry here, if you observe this clearly. So the molecule possesses symmetry and the number of chiral carbon atoms is 4. Now, what is the number of optical active forms? Number of optical active forms is equal to 2 to the power of n minus 1. If a molecule possesses n asymmetric carbons and that n is an even number and the molecule possesses symmetry, then the number of optical active forms is 2 power n minus 1. Since it possesses a plane of symmetry, this molecule possesses some mesoforms also. Then what is the number of mesoforms? So number of mesoforms is 2 to the power of n by 2 minus 1. 2 to the power of n by 2 minus 1 is number of mesoforms. If add both of them, we can get the total number of forms. Now see here, how many chiral carbons are here? 4 chiral carbons. Then what is the number of optical active forms? Number of optical active forms is 2 power n minus 1, whereas n is nothing but 4. So 2 power 4 minus 1, which is 2 cube, which is 8. Then what is the number of mesoforms? The number of mesoforms is 2 power n by 2 minus 1. This is equal to 2 power 4 by 2 minus 1, 2 power 1, which is nothing but 2. Then total number of optical isomers are 8 plus 2, 10. So for a compound with 4 asymmetric carbon atoms, 8 are optically active forms and 2 are optically inactive forms. Total number of isomers possible is 8 plus 2, 10. This is. And now come to case 3. Third case. Compound with odd number of carbon atoms. Compound with odd number of carbon atoms and possess symmetry with respect to an asymmetric carbon. Right. Let us see now here. compound with odd number of carbon atoms and possess symmetry with respect to an asymmetric carbon atom. So just this only small change I'll do here. Now let us take one more group here. C, H, OH, CH3. Now this compound possesses 5 asymmetric carbon atoms and the molecule is symmetric with respect to this asymmetric carbon atom. This is called as a pseudo symmetry. With respect to an asymmetric carbon, both sides of the groups are same. This type of symmetry is called as pseudo symmetry. Now this is the compound with odd number of carbon atoms, which is symmetry with respect to a chiral carbon, called as pseudo symmetry. In this case, what is the number of optical active forms? The number of optical active forms here is 2 power n minus 1 minus 2 power n minus 1 by 2. This is the number of optical active forms here. Then what is the number of mesoforms? The number of mesoforms is equal to 2 to the power of n minus 1 by 2. Then total is nothing but if add these two, this and this get cancelled, the total number is 2 power n minus 1. So this is regarding a compound with odd number of atoms. Now see, for this example, how many optically active forms we can get here? So number of optical active forms is 2 power n minus 1. This is 2 power 5 minus 1 minus 2 power 5 minus 1 by 2, which is equal to, this is 2 power 4, nothing but 16 minus, this is 2 square, which is 4, 12. 2 power n minus 1, that is 2 power 5 minus 1, and 2 power n minus 1 by 2, that is 5 minus 1 by 2. 2 power 4, 16, 2 square 4, 16 minus 4, 12 we can get here. Now, what is the number of mesoforms? Number of mesoforms is nothing but 2 power n minus 1 by 2, which is nothing but equal to 2 power 5 minus 1 by 2, which is equal to 4. Now total will be 12 plus 4, 16. So like this, if any compound given, if they ask a number of optical active isomers, then we can predict like this. See once again. If the given compound contains n asymmetric carbon atoms, then the number of optical active forms is 2 power n and mesoforms is 0. If a given compound contains even number of asymmetric carbon atoms and possess a symmetry, then number of optical active forms is 2 power n minus 1 and the number of mesoforms is 2 power n by 2 minus 1. Similarly, if a molecule possesses n odd carbon, odd number of carbon atoms and the molecule is pseudo-symmetric with respect to an asymmetric carbon, then the number of optical active forms is 2 power n minus 1 minus 2 power n minus 1 by 2 and the mesoforms is 2 power n minus 1 by 2. So by using these relations we can calculate the number of optical active forms of a given compound. Okay, so this is regarding a calculation of number of optical isomers. Now, okay, so regarding a configuration of isomers, there are two types of systems, DL system and RS system. That DL configuration and RS configuration, how to predict, there are some rules, and regarding those in tomorrow class we'll discuss. And today we are going to upload a study material for haloalkane chapter. Still now whatever I explained here, everything will be present in that material. Along with that, objective questions also given, topic wise, level wise is there. So first read the concept thoroughly and then solve level 1 and level 2 questions. So whatever the level 3 questions are there, if you are able to solve, just solve them. Otherwise, later after reopening, we will discuss in the class. Okay. Thank you.